Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a story that's got fans talking and debating non-stop. We're talking about Iman Shumpert, Teyana Taylor, and a situation that proves even the most perfect celebrity separations can get complicated. For months, fans thought Iman and Teyana had figured it out. How to separate without chaos. No drama, no public fights, no social media wars. They made it look calm, respectful, almost too perfect. But then a name entered the mix, and suddenly everything changed. Iman Pierre. And when news broke that Iman had reacted to Teyana possibly dating him, the reaction online wasn't loud, it was stunned silence. Because this wasn't supposed to happen. After their split, both Iman and Teyana carefully presented a united front. No messy interviews, no shady posts, no public insults. Instead, there were statements about growth, mutual respect, and prioritizing their daughters above all else. Fans couldn't get enough. Social media flooded with praise, calling them the example of how adults should handle divorce. Teyana focused on herself, her career, fashion, and creative projects. Iman stayed quieter, choosing a more private approach, but always present as a proud father. From the outside, it looked like a perfect separation. But let's be real. Healing is rarely that clean. Even peaceful splits carry emotions quietly in the background, just waiting for a spark to stir them back up. And in this case, that spark came in the form of Iman Pierre. It didn't begin with paparazzi photos or a public confirmation. Like most celebrity stories today, it started small. A few sightings, coincidences, fans noticing patterns, and then jumping to conclusions. At first, it seemed harmless. Teyana is successful, talented, beautiful. Of course she might move on. But this rumor didn't stay harmless for long. Once fans started genuinely believing Teyana might be dating Iman, the tone online shifted. People weren't just curious anymore. They were emotionally invested. Iman Pierre isn't just any name. He's respected, private, and carries a completely different public image. That contrast alone made fans pay attention. Suddenly, this wasn't just about Teyana dating someone new. It was about what it meant for Iman, their family, and the co-parenting dynamic everyone thought was solid. And then came Iman's response. Not loud, not explosive, but noticeable. Fans picked up on subtle changes. A post here, a comment there, a reaction that didn't feel random. In celebrity culture, subtlety often speaks louder than shouting. And people noticed. Something had shifted. The calm, collected energy was gone. Iman didn't respond like a jealous ex. His reaction felt different. Protective, uncomfortable, emotionally charged. It wasn't about ego. It was about boundaries. And once fans sensed that, the conversation completely changed. Suddenly, people weren't asking, "Is Teyana dating again?" They were asking, "Did this cross a line?" Because when children are involved, dating stops being just personal. It becomes about routines, environments, and emotional stability. Fans started speculating. Did Iman feel blindsided? Was he left out of conversations that should have happened privately? That's when the whispers about custody began. Not because anyone confirmed legal issues, but because the energy online shifted. When co-parenting works, both sides move carefully. When one reacts emotionally, people notice. The internet split immediately. One side defended Teyana. She has every right to move on, to be happy, to live her life without asking her ex for permission. Divorce doesn't mean control. To them, Iman's reaction seemed unnecessary, maybe even possessive. The other side saw it differently. Iman was protecting his peace and his children. Once kids are involved, communication matters more than freedom. His reaction wasn't jealousy, it was concern. Meanwhile, Teyana stayed silent. She didn't confirm or deny anything. She didn't respond to Iman directly. And that silence, it spoke volumes. Some saw it as maturity, refusing to fuel drama. Others saw it as dismissive, ignoring emotions that deserved acknowledgement. Either way, it left space for speculation. And speculation online grows fast. Iman Pierre suddenly became a part of a storm he never asked to be in. His silence made him a symbol for whatever narrative people wanted to believe. And sometimes, being silent doesn't protect you. It puts you in the center of assumptions without a voice. As this story continued, fans went back to old interviews, social media clips, and moments between Iman and Teyana, searching for clues. People noticed how deeply Iman values fatherhood, how often he talks about structure, presence, and emotional responsibility. That context made his reaction make more sense to some. It didn't feel impulsive, it felt personal. Because here's the truth. Even peaceful separations don't erase the past. New relationships can reopen emotional wounds in ways nobody expects. It doesn't mean either person wants the other back. It just means the past still exists, especially when children are involved. Public dating changes dynamics. It forces conversations that may not have happened yet. And when those conversations are skipped, tension builds fast. Fans started wondering, could this escalate legally? Not because there was evidence, but because patterns emerge. Subtle reactions, emotional statements, and growing concern over boundaries have historically been the first signs of custody tension in celebrity circles. Nobody confirmed court filings. Nobody accused anyone of wrongdoing. But the fear alone changed public perception. And it all comes down to a simple, uncomfortable truth. Healing isn't linear. You can be okay for months, even years, until one moment brings everything rushing back. For Iman, seeing Teyana possibly move on so publicly may have triggered emotions he hadn't fully processed. Not because he wants control, but because family dynamics are changing. For Teyana, silence might be her way of protecting herself. She values autonomy and strength. Responding emotionally could pull her back into a narrative she's trying to outgrow. Choosing silence might feel like the safest option. But silence doesn't always create peace. It can create distance. As fans debate online, one thing becomes clear. This isn't about gossip anymore. It's about how complicated it is to truly separate when children are involved. New love collides with old responsibilities. Public lives turn private emotions into headlines. Whether this situation fades or escalates depends entirely on what happens behind closed doors. Boundaries clarified? Things might cool down quietly. Emotions left unspoken? Tension grows. Custody issues? The tone could darken in an instant. Right now, the calm, perfectly controlled image fans once believed in is fractured. It hasn't collapsed completely, but the cracks are visible. Healing is ongoing, uneven, and vulnerable to pressure. Focusing only on who reacted wrong, or who moved on too fast misses the bigger picture. This isn't just about Iman's reaction or Teyana's silence. It's about two people carrying unresolved emotions while millions watch, comment, and judge in real time. When one voice speaks and the other stays silent, speculation fills the space left behind. Silence becomes a message, even when it wasn't intended to be. The internet doesn't wait for clarity or context. It builds stories, picks sides, and turns fragments into conclusions. Every pause is dissected. Every look is analyzed. What starts as private pain quickly becomes public debate, driven more by assumptions than truth. Feeling unheard can cut just as deeply as being attacked outright. What makes this situation uneasy is that unresolved tension never fades. It grows. When feelings stay buried, misunderstandings amplify, and resentment quietly takes root. Once children are involved, the situation stops being just emotional. It becomes deeply personal, with consequences that last. This isn't an ending. It's a turning point. The real issue isn't picking sides or placing blame. It's whether both voices are truly being heard while silence and speculation dominate the space. Until that happens, outsiders will continue shaping the story. And the internet rarely tells the full truth. It only tells the loudest, noisiest version. So, what can we take from all this? Iman and Teyana showed us that even the most respectful, calm separations are complicated behind the scenes. Children, emotions, boundaries. All of it makes moving on messy, even when no one's being dramatic. Public perception doesn't always match reality. What seems perfect online can hide deep emotional work. And when new relationships enter the picture, it forces everyone involved to navigate uncharted territory. As fans, it's easy to pick sides or speculate. But sometimes the most important story isn't what we see online. It's what happens behind closed doors. One thing is clear. This chapter is far from over. Whether it resolves quietly or escalates further, the human emotions at play are real, complex, and ongoing. And that's the story everyone's watching unfold in real time.